In life, there's a lot of ways to think about living, to think about being. But when it comes down to it, there's really only two ways, or a combination of two ways. There's giving and there's taking. And I found a unity in both of those modes of living through the Katha Upanishad. Not expressly said, but certainly it gave me the hints. Life as giving, as an offering. It's a matter of giving it to the divine. And that's talked about in the Katha Upanishad through this idea of a sacrificial fire that burns within you. And in a direct sense, it's the fire of digestion. It's the fire that keeps your body warm at the 98.6 degrees. It's the energy of life. And your giving, your offering to the universe or to this experience of existence is exactly that. It's the product of your activity, the product of your thinking, the effects of your life. The unity comes with the taking part in the sense that this same body, which is your offering to the universe at large, which is your outward going toward the external, toward the giving, is driven by your intake, your taking, which is your offering, your sacrifice as such. So you've got this fire burning in the temple of the self, in the body itself. And on that fire, you put everything that comes in through the five senses. So everything that you look at is an offering. Everything that you listen to is an offering. Everything that you touch is an offering. So you have this sacrificial fire burning in your temple. And in that temple, you make all of your offerings to this experience of being, to the God of I am. And that material, all of those takings, those offerings, those things that you're bringing in as causes for your effect, for your outgoing life, are put on this fire and they burn. And that smoke that comes from that fire, which is your giving, your offering to the universe, that smoke of that fire is the incense of your life. And this ties in with the idea of prayer. Everything that you put in to yourself is a prayer, a request for a fruit, for the offering, for the outgoing essence of yourself, for the smoke coming out of your temple, the incense that you have, as it were. And that your prayers are always answered in the affirmative by the universe, this existence at large, however you want to break that down. But the yes comes in direct proportion to the strength of the request. So I always tell people, you can pray to be famous, but if you sleep in on Saturday morning and miss your audition, you're going to get the prayer for sleep and the prayer of not going to the audition and the prayer for fame all mixed together, and the average result will be given to you. And most of us have very average, kind of in-the-middle lives for that reason. We are not really aware of what we're praying for because we're not really aware of what we want, and we're not really aware of how our lives are affecting us. That level of consciousness is not there. Most of us are kind of going through in a sense of automaton. We're just taking it as it comes, doing it as it does, and living. And so consequently, we have a very middling life. Those people who become aware that their life is prayer and that their actions are offering, and they then become aware of exactly what it is that they want to offer and what it is that they want to burn on their altar, as such, are people that are very clear in their thinking. And that's also known as concentration, as being able to focus, or being in the now, being aware. And then your prayers get lessened in number and get focused in direction, and the answers become clearer. So the closer that you come to the divinity, through self-control, through focus, through awareness, through being, the more in harmony you are with the universe as a whole, and the more you begin to recognize your prayers and their answers, because you're not scatterbrained. You're not living in a multitude of directions at one time. And so I guess the summary of this for me has been to live a life with awareness, to really take a look at what do these things that I'm putting into my body actually end up requesting. What are they asking the universe for? And so I become aware of what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, who I'm hanging out with, what I'm doing with my free time. And then also, consequently, to get an awareness of my actions in the world, an awareness of my motivations in the world, so that this giving and this taking make me aware of that central neutral part, that center point of perfection, where all that is given and all that is offered come to a wonderful equilibrium of being. Become aware of what you're offering on the flame of your sacrificial fire in the temple of your body to the divine, to this being, to this love, to this knowing. And live a purposeful and conscientious life that will give you the answers to the prayers that you really want to pray and that you really want to have answered.